my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning, and happy birthday to actor and ex-wrestler Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Did you know that his dad and grandfather were both professional wrestlers too? That's one family you don't want to mess with.
Right, yeah, I'm a fan of The Rock. I like The Rock. I used to watch The Rock when I was in a woman's refuge. The Scorpion King I remember watching. Right, so yeah, it's Tuesday. The sun's trying to come out, but for how long we don't know. May is unpredictable. It's a month where you can have sun with 1 minute, rain the next, or you can have it all at once. I remember getting married on May the 9th, 1987, and the day was half sunny and half overcast. So you just don't know what's going to happen with the British weather. I think people know that. You can get terrible torrential showers in June. As we all know, when Wimbledon starts approaching, sometimes the matches are cancelled due to rain. So British weather is unpredictable. Right, so I was going to play a puzzler game to tax my brain this morning. Alexa, puzzler.
Good morning. Welcome back to Puzzler. Would you like to play your daily crossword or hear the high scores?
Daily crossword.
Okay, here is the quick crossword of the day.
Cumulus, e.g. it has 5 letters.
Alexa, cloud.
Great stuff.
Thick mass or tuft. First letter, C. 5 letters.
Alexa, skip.
Okay, we'll skip this clue.
Cathedral instrument. First letter, O. It has 5 letters.
Alexa, organ.
Great.
Recommended strongly. Blank blank, G. Blank blank. There are 5 letters.
Alexa, next.
Okay, we'll skip this clue.
Apron. Blank blank, N. Blank blank. It has 5 letters.
Alexa, month.
That's not quite right.
Unlucky. Month is not quite right. For better recognition, spell out 1 letter at a time, like this. P, U,
Alexa,
Z.
skip.
Okay, we'll skip this clue.
Child's word for father. First letter, D.
Alexa, daddy.
You're 50% complete. On to the next question.
Recommended strongly. Blank blank,
Alexa,
G.
urged.
On to the next one.
Apron. Blank blank, N. Blank, Y.
Is that eight?
5 letters.
Apron. Alexa, penny. Alexa, Alexa, P-I-N-N-Y, penny.
Oh no, that's wrong.
PW penny isn't right.
Alexa,
For better
P-I-N-N-Y, penny.
This is your last clue.
thick mass or tuft. C. Blank.
Alexa, clump.
I'm sorry, that's not the right answer.
Alexa, C-L-U-M-P, clump.
Crossword complete.
You did it in 2 minutes, 44 seconds. This was your 41st fastest time for daily crosswords.
Main menu. Would you like to hear the high scores, open shop, or exit game?
High scores,
Would you like to hear the daily or premium high scores?
daily.
You're currently 1,487th on the daily high scores, with a time of 1 minute, 4 seconds, 243 milliseconds. You are 0 seconds behind your nearest rival, Ferociously Amused Chihuahua. Would you like to
Alexa,
hear the...
exit. So that crossword reminded me of my old gran, Kath. I had a very fiery, bad-tempered nan called Kath.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Would you like to
Alexa,
hear the hot...
exit. So I had a very fiery gran that had Irish blood in her. Her original name was Fitzgerald. So she married my granddad and she became Kath Trower. But she was a Fitzgerald and they were Irish and she had Irish blood, my gran. She's been dead for decades. But I used to go to my nan and granddad's when I was a little girl. I used to live in Sydenham, which is southeast London, and my nan and granddad used to live in Forest Hill, SE23, and when I was a little girl from 7 onwards, I used to travel on the 122, the 144 I think it was, and the 141. You could choose several buses which would go from Sydenham to Forest Hill. So I would go as a little child to collect things to take home to my mum. My gran would go to jumble sales. We were quite poor when I was a child, my family. So I would go to my gran's and take back things that my gran had given to my mum and dad, like food and stuff, on the bus back home. And it would take 2 buses, and I was a good kid. I didn't take anything. I did as I was told. I'd go on 2 buses from the age of 7 to Forest Hill, and my nan, sometimes when I got older I would go straight to my nan's by myself, but my nan or granddad would pick me up at the bus stop, and they lived in a road called Stillness Road, and I've been there in 2010. I don't know what it's like now, but I did return after my grandparents had died because they owned their home. They owned it. When they passed away, my dad obviously had to deal with selling the house and using the proceeds for funerals, etc. So I was just remembering the word pinny. Pinny is an old word for apron. Pinny. And my nan used to wear pinnies and aprons. And when I worked at a garage, excuse me, I worked in a garage when I had work experience, and I used to wear an apron over myself. I worked in a garage for a while, behind the scenes, stock taking, like my dad. I used to help them deal with the stock, counting up the stock in the back room. I never served. And my nan had an old mangle. Years ago they didn't have washing machines. They had and things like that, or dryers. So they would hand wash their clothes, and they would put them through the mangle, an old fashioned like wringer that got the wet out of clothes. So I remember seeing the old things, the really old ancient things, and Granddad had cabinets, and I thought it was like a queen's cabinet, royal cabinets. There was all these precious ornaments, weighed, spode, and I just said to a kid, when you see sparkly little things and cat ornaments, and there was a black dog, a Scotty black dog in my nan and granddad's house. A Scottish ornament, it was a Scotty black dog. So my nan and granddad would have had ornaments like the Queen Mother and the Queen. So my nan and granddad, they owned their own house, and they had spode, they had weighed, they had all these ornaments. tucked away in cabinets, etc. And I do remember the Scotty black dog. Scottish black dog. Alexa helps me remember these things. When I say good morning to Alexa, she will bring up things that I remember. And I do, as a child, remember my gran and granddad's. And they also had nodding dogs, and one was black. You know, today we would probably call them bobbleheads. There were dogs with heads that nodded up and down, and one was black. It was black. So Gran and Grandad had a couple of black ornaments in their house when I was a little girl. Well, what I'm trying to figure out is where this intense hatred and bullying has originated from. I'm just going to say one more thing, and people can piece things together themselves. When I first married my ex-husband, he was into military uniform. And I will say it because they sold it. Nazi uniform, Nazi badges, Nazi hats, and Nazi memorabilia. There was a shop in Gloucestershire with military stuff, and it sold Nazi German daggers, replicas, but you know, they sold that stuff. And they also sold a few antiques. And my ex-husband came across this black face money box. Like from the 1930s, they made a money box out of a coloured man's face. And my ex-husband wanted it. He wanted it. So he asked the gentleman how much for this black money box, and he paid, and he took it home, and he's probably got it still till this day, I don't know. But this has been going on a long time to me. So yes, in Gloucestershire in 1987 onwards, there was a military shop that was selling Nazi German daggers, replicas, Nazi badges, replicas, and replica Nazi uniform. And they were also selling black money boxes. And we're talking like a black and white minstrel money box. We're not talking about a money box like a dog and a cat or a piggy bank. We're talking a black and white minstrel money box that my husband wanted to buy, and he bought it. Because it was old and possibly an antique. So from a child, obviously, when you're going into black history, and this is the truth, my granddad said to me, something about Enoch Powell, and they hadn't seen a coloured person before. And it was a shock to white people when they actually first saw a coloured person. This is way back when, even before I was born. And I don't discriminate against people. I like people of all colours, all ethnicities, and I like to learn their language and learn about them, and I would like the whole world to live as one. But I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the things that happened to black people shouldn't have happened at all. It's disgusting. But you can see how people use hatred and segregate people, and it's not just to do with people with colour, it's to do with disability, or if you've got something wrong with your face, if you're different from other people. People use hatred to segregate people, single them out, and make them feel really, really horrible about themselves. And it still goes on today. You can't be racist, although it still goes on, obviously in football and places like that, it still goes on. and the police victimise the disabled, they victimise people of colour. It's just disgusting. But it will go on to something else. People will find someone else to abuse, someone else to destroy and upset. They can't help themselves. Right? But I remember, and you know, I wasn't shocked. When I went to school in the 80s, I was surrounded by people of all colours and all ethnicities. And I had some lovely Asian food made for me at one of my jobs by a lovely Asian lady. She cooked samosas and she cooked Indian food, and I enjoyed it. There's so much hatred in the world today. In the 80s, there was more love and respect than there is today of people of ethnicity. And you know, there wasn't all this spitefulness or greed. You're never going to stamp out bullying. You never will stamp it out completely, but you can try and help people understand that what they're doing is wicked, cruel, nasty, and they're a horrible person, because there's no need to bully. And I've seen lots of YouTube videos on teenagers committing suicide, people committing suicide because their life has been made so miserable by bullies, they just can't stand it anymore. And yesterday, I was at my wit's end. I'd had enough. And that's what I want to say to people. Yesterday, I'd had enough of it. I'm not people's property. You can't abuse me like a piece of shit. I go out to enjoy myself. I wanted to go to the Sweeps Festival to have fun, to buy things and enjoy it, not be pushed about, shoved about and laughed at. Oh, my nose is broken so it looks like a hog. How many people have got funny noses? How many people walking up the street have got something wrong with their nose? How dare you single me out and laugh at me? Oh, my teeth look like an orc, do they? Well, get me a proper dentist instead of laughing and making money out of me by putting number plates on the cars. Orc. ORC. Fix my fucking teeth. Don't laugh at me. All the money these cunts are making laughing at me, you know, fucking cough up. And fucking fix my teeth. Help me mend my nose. Don't fucking stand there and laugh. And half of them doing it. I'm not nasty, you know. We've all got flaws. We've all got something wrong with us. A lot of people hide it with makeup and plastic surgery because they've got loads of money to hide their faces. And when in the end, it's not their real face, is it? It's full of plastic and fillers. How many people can say, yes, I've got a broken nose, yes, my teeth ain't straight, but I ain't plastic, I ain't fake. Anyway,